At first glance, it seems like a good idea to be someone who makes other people happy. But this is a pattern of behavior that causes trouble for both the person who does it and the people who watch them. People pleasers are people who might sometimes be themselves, who feel like they have no choice but to change themselves to meet other people's standards, even though they have a lot of hidden and sometimes dangerous fears and resentments. They act like the ideal partner. But what they really feel is much deeper. They agree to ideas they don't like, and they confuse everyone around them because they don't say what they really want and need at the right time and with enough guts. We could say that the person who tries to please everyone is a liar. It sounds harsh, but the people pleaser is lying because they are afraid of making other people unhappy, not because they want to get ahead. To understand, and maybe even sympathize with the people pleaser, we need to look at their past, which almost always includes a time when they were young and were around someone, usually their mother or father, who seemed completely and horrifyingly unable to accept and forgive certain necessary, but maybe hard facts about their child. Maybe our father blew up like a volcano whenever we didn't agree with him. If we spoke out against a political idea, said we wanted something different to eat, or were honest about being tired or worried, we could be killed. We had to be very aware of what other people wanted us to do and say if we wanted to stay alive. The question of what we might really want took a back seat to something much more important: trying to second-guess the wants of those whose lives we counted on at the time. We didn't always lie because we were afraid. Sometimes we did it because we cared deeply about someone who was weak in some way. We lied because we didn't want to start another fight between our parents, because we wanted to keep our depressed parent happy, and because we didn't want to add another load to what seemed like an already hard or sad life. Who were we to make things harder for someone who was already fragile? No matter how reasonable the reasons for our actions are, we might find 3 ways out of these hard patterns of people-pleasing when we are adults. The first is to tell ourselves that our coworkers, partners, and friends are almost certainly very different from the people around whom our fears grew up. Most people can handle a little bit of contradiction, some unwelcome news, or an odd rejection, as long as it is done in a polite way. The other won't blow up or disappear. We learned a very specific way to act in the world by being with a group of people who were not typical of all people. The second thing we need to do is recognize the bad things we do by accident. Even though we may have good goals, we are putting everyone in danger by not being more honest. No one is helped when we keep our questions and reservations to ourselves at work. And it's not kind to stay in a relationship just because we think the other person might not be able to live without us. They will, but our emotions will have wasted a lot of their time. Lastly, we can gain the confidence to find creative ways to say the hard things we have to say. As kids, we couldn't find the right way to say what we wanted to say. We didn't know how to explain our pain and needs in a way that made sense. Now we can be strong in our own opinions while also being very kind. We can say no without making it sound like we don't like the person, and we can say you're wrong without making it sound like a person is stupid. We can end a friendship with someone while making sure they know how much it meant to us. In other words, we can be nice without trying to please everyone.